things to do in Sea Pines, and we know that there's a lot of little tips and tricks that we can provide people. My parents actually live there, so really looking forward to getting into this and giving you some insight into Sea Pines specifically for when you're visiting.
So the biggest thing is if you're not staying in Sea Pines, you can still get in there. There's a $9 gate fee. Just make sure you stay to the right. The
Yes.
left is for people who already have passes and can just go straight through. You're going to hold them up. Everybody's going to get annoyed. So just make sure you stay to the right and have cash. That's important to know too. A lot of people kind of know that already. But what I recently learned is you can actually get that $9 back by dining at some of the restaurants in Sea Pines. And those restaurants are Fraser's, Coast, Quarter Deck, Harborside Bakery, and Lynx. So if you go to, they're all great restaurants, delicious. So if you go to one of those, just let your server know and they'll take the $9 off of your check.
Some of the things that I'm aware of is you can obviously go check out Lawton Stables. That's a great spot. You could also go to the Plantation Club and buy a bag of golf balls. Maybe you don't want to pay the fee to go play, but you could go, you pay the $9 to go in. You could go eat at Fraser's, buy a bag of golf balls, and just hang out at the Plantation Club that afternoon. If you want to get your dad, you want to get some time away from the kids, or if you're somebody new to golf and you want to get a golf lesson, like really good spot to hang out there as well.
Yeah, obviously everybody knows about Salty Dog Cafe, but they also have a bunch of little shops and there's a ice cream shop down there. There's a bunch of water sports stuff down there. I've done kayaking down there. It's a lot of fun. You can see dolphins there and stuff too. There's also the Stony Baynard ruins on your way down to South Beach too, which is really cool. They have a good amount of old little ruins that they're kind of just tucked into the trees there. There's a sign on the road. It's a nice little peaceful place. Really cool to learn some history.
Yeah. And then the other side of it would be going to the Harbor Town Harbor, which is obviously really, really fun. That's got quarter deck, amazing view of the 18th hole of the Harbor Town Golf Course, which is also a very short walk from the actual harbor if you wanted to go check it out. There's a whole neighborhood there, so you can actually go walk the Harbor Town course. Again, it's pretty expensive, so if you didn't want to play it, you could just go walk it. It's a beautiful walk. It's an immaculate course. The harbor's got all kinds of places that you can go check out. There's so many events going on there too. Like definitely a spot that you could visit and go check out.
There's a lot of cruises go out from there too. Vagabond cruises. So they have dinner, sunset, dolphin cruises. That's where the kids pirate cruise that we've talked about a bunch of times, they go from there too. And then a lot of people don't necessarily know that you can walk up the lighthouse for $5. There's a little gift shop at the bottom too. So you just go in there at the desk, pay $5. As you walk up, each floor has different history. And then you can go outside at the very top and it has a really cool view. And you can see Defusky, you can see Savannah. So I would highly recommend that. It's really cheap for only $5.
Also in Sea Pines, there's obviously the beach that you can go to. And then on top of it, what I would really recommend, because I think it's just one of the nicest places to kind of just cruise around and check out, is there's a couple different places you can go rent bikes. It's all very flat, and the bike riding in there is just, the paths are everywhere. It's beautiful. You can take the whole family and just bike around for a couple hours. Like for $9, go rent a couple bikes. Like what a better way to spend a beautiful afternoon in Hilton Head. Like go grab lunch, get your $9 back. That's another thing you could do. There's so many different options there. It's really a great place to go spend some time. Really can't recommend hanging out in Sea Pines enough.
My favorite thing to do there is the forest preserve. That's huge. There's the disappearing swamps. There's all these boardwalks. I've mentioned it before. It's really cool. It's also Fisher's Island where they do the alligator tours at. You can find the shell ring there. It's very big. And so that's my favorite thing to do. And I feel like people complain about paying the $9 fee. I feel like there is so much you can do in there for $9. And like you said, the Lawton Stables, they have the small animal farm. It's very cheap you can get feed them. There's a pony ride. You can do actual horseback riding that I've done too. There's just so much that you can do in there that really $9 isn't that big a deal. And if you're going to spend all day there, you're going to get hungry. So just go to one of these restaurants and get your $9 back too.
And my niece and nephew have the best time just either riding bikes right next to Lawton Stable where the horses will come up to you and you could, I mean, I don't know if you're supposed to pet them, but people are there petting them. A couple people have carrots and stuff, and there's some beautiful bodies of water you can sit out and maybe see an alligator or two.
And then there's also the huge playground in there too for kids to play at.
Yes. Oh, the playground, the shaded playground too. That's actually a really big secret. My brother-in-law and sister love that playground because it's completely shaded. Super super cool spot. It's over by the harbor. It's got the big fake alligator, which is kind of cool. Kids love. It's got all these neat little like almost like tree fort looking things, but it is completely shaded. So if you're a parent that's sitting out in the boiling sun when it's 80 degrees outside and you want some shade, that's really the playground to go to.
And they always have during the summer the Greg Russell concerts underneath the Liberty Tree right next to the park there too. It's in the evenings, but that's also something free to do.